My name is Larry Kinder, and I'm from Amarillo, Texas. And I began coming up here probably about 5.5 years ago with my wife. She was probably about 50 years old, and she had severe RA, lupus. They treated her with lupus and about 3 other diseases. When we first brought her in here, we drove up here. My wife went up fly. She's just scared to death of flying. I drove her up here and I got her out of the back seat, almost literally carry her. She's so weak. I don't think she weighed 100 pounds, 95. She was so small. Her doctor felt did some tests on her and stuff and said, "You don't have none of those diseases." And she goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." And he put some sticks in her mouth. She stands up. He said, "Walk," without her any help. And she was so weak and fragile, everybody always had to help her. And she stood up and walked. And then he started on treating her and learned more about her, I guess, and made her a mouthpiece. And she started wearing it, like I guess it was the first stage, where I drove her up here every other week. The first couple treatments, you can see improvement. You can see her walking more by herself, not a lot, but you see improvements. And then after that, it's just, she started putting on weight. Like every month or so, you see like a giant difference in her. Like her face started getting full. She started wearing a lot of her makeup, and she started doing her nails. And I come home from work, I go, "Hey babe, how was your day?" She goes, "Oh, I went to the mall today." And I look at her, go, it made me want to cry. I have my wife back, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. And he started treating her with her mouthpiece and her jaws, and all of a sudden things started happening. Her hands start working, her knees start working, and I can't describe it in words. I really can't. I went to her RA doctor and told him what's going on, and he said, "I'm lying. We're doing something else. That cannot be true." I said, "I don't care what you got to say. Look at my wife." I said, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, and we kept on coming up here religiously, like we're supposed to, because it made her whole life change around. I have my beautiful wife my last few years. Just got to go travel, spend time, and go walk. We stay at the motel across the street here in the evenings. She got better in the evenings. We'll go walk to the little Italian restaurant and go spend time together. And he gave me her last years, the ultimate last years. We got to travel. We got to do stuff, that quality time together that no doctor would ever gave me. And that means more than anything, money, anything in the world. Be to hold my wife's hand, walk down the street and talk and visit, and just reach out and hug her without her crying in pain. I mean, there's not no words for that. There ain't. My wife got so bad, I give her a hug, she go, "Oh, you're hurting me." Because she's so much pain and stuff. And my last years with her, I could give her a big old hug. "I love you, babe." And that means everything. A doctor, family physician is trained to treat you, to give you a pill to help you, make you feel better. These doctors, they're trained to heal you. So do you want to be treated, or do you want to be healed? And that's what I tell people. He healed my wife of her pain and suffering. And that's the difference.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.